So I've been thinking about how to be more intentional about self-care, as it's like an ongoing experiment, right? See what works for you and what doesn't. And lately I've been in survival mode, so I need to be much more intentional about my self-care. So here are some things that I'm trying out this week. One is getting into nature. So I am on a hike at the park. Nothing, check out these oak trees. Nothing too rigorous. Getting in the sunshine, and like I'm trying to go outside first thing in the morning when I wake up, and just like take a few steps around my garden, see if anything new is blooming. And when I am out and about, like when I take my son to school or work, I try to stop somewhere at a park and either go for a hike or just sit for like 5 minutes. Sometimes this could even be like taking a breather at a like parking area where there's like nice trees or a pond nearby. It doesn't have to be like a park. Walking around the block. So getting into nature is important. Another thing that I avoid because I don't like to feel is getting all the thoughts and feelings out of my head. As a person with PTSD, I think I'm gonna sit down for a minute. It's really nice right here. See. So as a person with PTSD, I tend to be hyper vigilant, like very aware of everything that's going on. I want to make things better. That can come with racing thoughts, and just like my body holds all of that stress, and things have been really outside of my control over the past few months. So I need to switch and focus on to what I can control, and journaling is a great way to do that. So I think like morning pages, like Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way morning pages are great. I'm watching a fish swim. I think I'm gonna try to come paddleboard here. The water's super clear. Anyways, so Julia Cameron morning pages, just brain dump what's in your head for 15 minutes or 3 pages every morning, first thing when you wake up, which is great, especially if you do like a dream journal. I do a lot of interstitial journaling, so I keep like an Apple Note open for each day, and I'll kind of like, when I do it, right, I'll just kind of like type out whatever is on my mind in the moment, especially if I'm like transitioning from one activity to the next activity, and that seems to be really helpful when I do it, right? And if you're not a big writer or typer, you can always like make a video or a voice recording on any of your devices. And this can be extremely helpful, just to get it out of your head, you know? And that way it's not stored in your body. So I think like, I've been doing this a lot while I'm driving. Like I'll just record, like do a voice memo, you know? That way it's not distracting or anything, and I can process something, like if I'm working with a coach or a therapist, so I'm processing out loud. And if I want to listen back to it, I can, or I can just delete it. Like I don't have to keep it. The point is getting it out of the brain so it doesn't settle in the body. So there's that. Okay, so getting into nature, even if it's just a little bit, getting the thoughts and feelings out of your head. And it can be helpful, I think, if you can identify like what you're feeling, like if you're afraid or if you're angry or if you're sad. That can be helpful. Something like a tool that has been really helping me lately is making everything into a metaphor. So if I'm stuck in traffic, how can I make that into a metaphor? You know, if my roof is leaking, how can I make that into a metaphor for my life at the moment? So that can be really helpful in your journaling practice. Another thing that you can journal about is like, what is your body trying to tell you? Do you have back pain? What is your back pain trying to tell you? Is your stomach upset? What is it trying to tell you? So those are some easy journaling prompts. And the other thing is just like being intentional about moving more. I try to do yoga every morning, but I need to do like more, I don't want to say intense because I don't like doing really intense kind of exercises, but like body weight exercises every day. Just something that engages my muscles to the point where I feel like the right kind of hormones and chemicals are being released to make me feel better. So that is something that I'm going to try to do every day. It's hard when you don't feel good and when you're in survival mode, and when you're like, when I'm in survival mode, I tend to be in a lot of physical pain. Like I have headaches and muscle aches and knots, and I run low grade fevers. So like the last thing like I want to do is physical exercise, but I know that it will help me to feel better. So today today is like a heavy work day, and I was like, I should just get home and get straight to work. But then I was like, you know what? I can take half an hour and walk around the park and just relax for a minute to set myself up for success. So I think I'm feeling very relaxed right now. I think these are things that I can do to be intentional this week that I'm going to try out. So that is getting into nature. 2 was getting the things out of my mind, and 3 was moving, like some kind of body weight, exercise, to see if that helps me to feel better. Oh yeah, and a bonus thing is like intentional eating. I was thinking about this last night of like, what kind of foods, when I eat them, do they make me feel really good? And curry, like really spicy curry, is one of those things. So I'm trying to eat curry almost every day, like not a large portion, of course, like a small bowl of some kind of curried vegetable or bean or soup. And it feels good. And of course, drinking more water feels good. So let me know if this was helpful. If you want to think about some things that you could try out for yourself, like intentional self-care experiments. If you're interested in being coached, these are the kind of topics that I can help you think about. So check out the website, link in the description below. Take care.